The topic today is how your parents made you. Sexual desire is influenced by what we see, what we hear, where they touch, what we touch, and what we remember, what we imagine. So there are 4 phases of human sexual response, and which were first described by William H. Masters and Virginia E. Johnson in 1966. Since then, models have been formulated by several scholars, but most are really similar, if not the same, to the concept. Phase 1 is excitement. Phase 2 is plateau, or the sexual activity itself. Phase 3 is orgasm. Phase 4 is resolution. Now let's break them down. Excitation is the period of sexual stimulation, which involves arousal and the well-timed foreplay. The period is necessary and better experienced when lengthened, especially in women, as this increases her chances of attaining orgasm. This brings her threshold a bit lower towards that of the man and closer to it, so you're able to have orgasm together. Erection begins with sensory and mental stimulation. The brain will produce a number of hormones in response. Some of these hormones are dopamine and nitric oxide, which open vessels wider, even those in the penis. Impulses from the brain also cause the muscles of the penis to relax and cause rush inflow of blood. Hence, expansion and erection that is most effective when allowed to reach maximum full capacity. There's glands called the Cowper's glands at the base of the penis that secrete fluid, which is alkaline. Alkaline is the opposite of acid in nature, which rinses the penile urethra or the urine tube, and this is called the pre-ejaculate or the precum, or some people call it. Now, plateau is a period of active sexual activity. During this phase, the male urethra and the sphincter, think of it as a gate, contracts and hence closes the path to the bladder off. Yeah. So this is just so that you now begin avoiding backflow, so that now you don't have semen trying to get out of the pipe, because the male outlet is the same, unlike females who have 2 or different outlets for during sex and also for urination. So for the males, because it is generally the same place, you have to first block one part, so the gate to the bladder is blocked off, and then the semen passes. Then when the semen is done and ejaculation has been attained, then now the gate for the semen will close, and then the bladder part will open, so that you avoid something called retrograde ejaculation, where now semen, instead of coming out of the penile urethra or the tube or the pipe, and instead does flow back to the bladder. Eventually, this results into someone being unable to fertilize a woman, because it simply does not have semen coming out and sperm coming out during sex. So this will then be seen by a man having climax and not physically seeing semen, or very little, because it moved backwards into the bladder instead of out. The females during plateau will experience further tightening of the pelvic muscles. The pelvis is this area where all your female goods are. Yeah? So the clitoris becomes more sensitive. This is a part where some Ugandans call the bean. And also there's now glands that are called the Bartholin glands, which are on the entry of the vagina. They have small holes on the sides, and you're not able to really see them directly with your eyes. This is why these glands help us to secrete also some more lubrication for, during sex. Orgasm, at critical level, ejaculation happens by means of reflex action controlled by the brain and the nerves. In the testis, the vas deferens contract to squeeze sperm to the base of the penis, and then the prostate gland and seminal vesicles release secretions to make semen. These secretions are alkaline in nature. The alkali is the opposite of acid, like I told you. It's alkali to protect the sperm from the acidic environment of the vagina. So this is now the vas deferens is the area that is cut during vasectomy. So then when you're having ejaculation, you're going to have release of sperm or semen in 4 to 7 spots. Yeah. So it comes out in some sort of like pulses, and instead of coming out at once completely. The resolution, this is the phase when we start to think clearly, generally. From ejaculation, it's a refractory period. During this period, new erection cannot be attained. This period ranges in gender, health, males. So younger males can take between 15 to 30 minutes in the period of refractory, and then the older males can take 12 to 24 hours or more, meaning half a day to more than a day. Yeah. So sexual studies in 2019 suggested that average refractory periods in the males without sexual dysfunction was about 1 to 1.5 hours or less in younger males. Females generally don't have a refractory period and may experience a decline in desire due to fatigue or anxiety or a poor sexual experience.